She found it bizarre that I was doing it, but I didn't know she'd watched it. She watched it because they were periscoping it.
Yeah, because Sloss Facebook people can't watch it online.
Yeah. So she watched it when she was just sitting at home, and I didn't know until afterwards. She texted me and she said, "Oh, really, really well done." But yeah, it was huge, and it raised. I think we raised like 30 grand on the night for the charity.
What's the charity?
Charity's for he's a boy called Cian Musgrove who's got a rare form of cancer. He lives in the northeast, and he requires the only care and the only operation he can get is available in America. But the whole thing with his flights and the cost of care, it costs 550 grand.
Jesus.
So they've raised just over 300,000 now, but it's basically like a race against time now. So they're trying to do as much as they possibly can. So
is there a website where people can donate and stuff?
If I'm trying to think of the actual, because it's a weird kind of website. If you Google Cian Musgrove.
Well, we can do that at the end, actually.
If you could check up the website, and anything that anyone can give, then it would
absolutely,
it'd be fantastic.
Do you enjoy doing charity sort of gigs?
I do quite enjoy it. I'd like
bag because sometimes people
they're
don't
tough.
know how to.
They can be tough gigs. I enjoy doing stuff for the charities, and some of them can be amazing. Some of them can be. It's a weird mix because
it's when they say, "Oh, we've got a band on as well." And
yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of times where the people just because what's weird about because you do quite a lot of them at the stand. Sometimes it will just be people from the charity. So everyone knows why they're there, but sometimes it will be just a night and there'll be some people from the charity there. So then other punters will come in. So nobody really knows what the night's about. They're coming in just expecting a normal comedy show. The charity are expecting a certain type of show. So it's weird, but they can be very, very... It's like any gig. They can be incredibly enjoyable. Some of them can be tough.
How do you feel about Christmas gigs?
Again, it depends where they are. Some Christmas gigs can be an absolute joy because... I really like Christmas as well, and you get to... Sometimes people are just well up for it, and a great time, and then other times you just get a room full of absolute dicks that you can do nothing with whatsoever.
But in the run-up to Christmas, most normal gigs start to feel like a Christmas gig because everyone's out celebrating.
Yeah. The problem with Christmas gigs it's people that come out drinking
once a year
that never normally drink, and they feel that because that's their night, they need to really hammer it, and they don't have the tools to cope with the harsh realities of drinking.
The Christmas gig before Christmas, obviously, not after Christmas. Not only was there only 10 people at the gig, and there were this company. It was me, Gus, and Gareth, and not only that was that I didn't do well, and then I had to sit and talk to the guy who was probably coked up, and he'd tell me, "Oh no, you are actually funny." So not only have you do the gig in front of these shit people, you get to put with their sort of patronisation.
You get a review
listen,
afterwards.
Mate, it's tough up there, isn't it? Fuck off.
That's the worst.
You have to sit there and be polite, and I was annoyed because Gareth I actually done well, and then you can't blame the audience.
You can't.
Another act after you did well, you're like, oh fuck.
If one person's going down, you all have to go down because you can't be the only one that dies at a gig because then it is just your fault.
Have you had? I was talking to Mick about car journeys after someone's died. It can be quite awkward sometimes unless you just address it. Especially if the comedian's like a bit egotistical and just talking about it all night.
Yeah, if you know the person pretty well, it can be quite easy to just go.
Yeah.
But then there's been some nights where it's just not mentioned. Like I find it really, really difficult going into a dressing room after someone's really, really died.
Yeah.
Unless they acknowledge it straight away that they've died. If they don't, and there's just complete
it's a tough level because you don't want to be like you're feeling sorry for yourself, but you want to let people know you're aware of it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if I die at a gig, there's a good chance. It depends if it's like an almost kind of really brutal death, then you just kind of go, and then you just embrace it. And then, but if there's sometimes where you've not really done that well, I'll just leave because you just go.
Yeah.
Do you think if you're doing badly, you might as well just go for it and like shout at the audience or something? You might as well make it memorable, or you think you should leave with
dignity? We have dignity or don't have dignity? Is that the question?
I think it's best to just leave. I think it's best to just cut your losses and then...
But part of me always wants to, if I'm doing badly, just create some sort of awkward and make it more weirder for myself.
You would be a great suicide bomber, I tell you.
But the problem with doing that is that you then make it more difficult for people coming after you.
Well, that's true.
So there's a kind of... Yeah, I think if you're on last, then you can pretty much do what you want. But yeah, because I don't have the balls to stand up there when I'm really doing badly and just think it might get better. Because I just go, this is going to be worse, and I've got another 5 minutes of this, so let's not waste each other's time here. Nobody's enjoying this here. So
does it annoy you people's attitudes after I find people can be really condescending, or like they don't understand how you can ever be funny in any other context because they've just seen you like fail? Like that's why.
Yeah, I think I'm normally kind of in my own head. And because you massively then self-doubt yourself, because if you have particularly if you have a run of gigs that haven't gone that well, you start to even as you're saying stuff, you kind of go, what the fuck am I saying? This isn't funny. Even though it's been working for like 4 months beforehand, you just massively you lose confidence in everything. And
it's just like another sort of football analogy when you go through a striker goes through a bad run of form and he can score goals for fun, and then all of a sudden the things he was doing before aren't causing the goals, and you just
they overthink it.
Exactly.
Yeah, what once was natural,
and
just an instinct thing, you suddenly start to go, all right, this is where I need to place it, and then
do you ever start doing things where like you would maybe naturally you'd go one way, but because you're maybe on a slump you'd go the other? You don't. If things are going badly, you're certainly not as skilled in terms of knowing what you should do. Yeah, and technique and stuff.
Yeah, because you start to panic and you start to sweat, and then it's a horrible, horrible feeling. It's a really horrible feeling. Yeah.
Especially facing out the room afterwards if you don't know the comedians that well.
Yeah.
Your mates might be alright. But
yeah.
I had a guy at Red Raw once, and he was just about to leave, and it was me and a couple of other guys were sitting, and he was the only one out of us that didn't do well, and he tried to address, and he went, well, I guess I was the only one that didn't do well, right, guys? And there was just a silence. And he went and he just awkwardly got his bag and then left. It was horrible. I felt like I was in the office or something.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks it would be quite funny to have a really shit gig and then go backstage and like you've stormed it at like that sort of
just be totally blasé.
Yeah.
Like just walk in and go, that's how you fucking do
it. Boys, smashed it.
Yeah.
Me and my mates, me and like Liam and that used to play this game where we would walk in the door, but we'd do it like it was an act, like cocky ways to walk to the green room in the stand after you've been on stage. Like, smashed it, lad. Or I saw someone once go into the green room, and it was a Red Raw, and they didn't say anything, but they were looking at people, like, to try and get eye contact and awkwardly smiling, just so somebody looks at them and goes, oh, that was good. I'll tell you who it was after. But.
Yeah.
You notice a lot of that. Like, people looking for approval, or even when someone goes, did you think that joke was good? The one, because I wasn't sure. Like, fuck off, you've got to laugh.
I don't give a shit.
Can swim, though nothing will keep us together. We can beat them forever and ever. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
Right. So I was just eating a chocolate bar there. We're going to wrap up now. This has been the Burns Unit Podcast. Mark, thank you for being my guest.
No, it's been a pleasure, man.
Chris, thank you.
Is there anything he wants to plug?
Is there anything you want to plug?
Right, I will plug. I'll plug the charity, definitely. So if you could go on, have a look at the website and put that up, that would be lovely.
And Glasgow Comedy Festival.
Glasgow Comedy Festival. I have a show on Saturday the 12th of March at the Stand. So yeah, tickets are going not bad for that. So, but there's still tickets left. So if you fancy that, and that's about it.
You on Twitter and Facebook and stuff?
Twitter, Mark Nelson Comic.
Great stuff.
And then Facebook, just my name.
Lovely.
Cool. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
And that was the Burns Unit podcast.
Mark, what you doing?
Sorry, I was just recording the outro. So next week,
I told you we weren't doing an outro.
But it's what Marin does.
If you try and consistently be like Marin, you will not be like Marin. If you know, that makes no sense.
I am trying to be true to my voice.
Why don't you be Martin Byrne?
I don't like him.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
Listen, go back to bed. I'll finish this. All right? I'm sorry to wait. Sorry I woke you.
So we live in this fantasy world. We live in the same house.
Well, part of the skit is supposed to be that I woke you up by doing this outro.
Yeah, you explained the
And you've
skit
just
to
ruined
me
it.
before. Okay, let's go with the skit. Okay, so no, let's not. This isn't a thing.
I think this is interesting. It's gone all meta.
It's not really meta. So I told you not to do an outro. I said we didn't need an outro, but you want to do an outro.
Yep.
Do an outro.
Okay, thanks for listening, and please tune in for the next episode of the Burns Unit podcast.
This is where you plug.
Also, you can follow me on Twitter
Okay.
at Comedy Martin. Also, this is the part I'm not used to about performing and stuff.
Okay, you take a breath, take a knee. At Comedy Martin on Twitter, at the Burns Unit on Twitter. I'm at the Galatron on Twitter. Look at Martin's YouTube. You'll see lots of interesting kind of stand up. Search for his name on YouTube. Search for me on YouTube if you like, Chris Gallagher 20. Look out for the Burns Unit Facebook. Give us a like.
Yep.
And
you act more like you're half asleep as well.
give us a like.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll let Martin have the last word. I'm way back to bed.
Thank you for listening. This has been the first episode. If you've enjoyed it, please like and share. If you haven't, keep it to your bloody self. Thanks very much. Thanks, Chris.
Your bottom dollar, come on, take your bottom panties off, get your seat, belladonna. Pardon, Mrs. Dolly Parton, Condoleezza, turn me on. Bet your bottom dolly, rock $10, all I got's to spend. Manufacturers, what goes on is manufacturers, she's too elevators, manufacturers. Oh, okay, Billy, come over here a minute.
Oh, okay.
I got to introduce you to one of my friends.
Oh, really?
I think you're gonna like her, Billy.
Oh, she's a girl? I don't know about this.
Yeah. She's a topless dancer, lad.